from American Public Media.
And we are live from here at Town Hall in New York City. And here is your host, Chris Thile.
Ahoy! Let's hear it for our musical director, Mike Elizondo. Our house band tonight includes Brittany Haas on fiddle, Chris Eldridge on guitar, Marcus Gilmore on drums, and Brett Williams on keys. Oh, do we ever have a show for you tonight? Our guests are Black Pumas, Crooked Still, Anthony Veneziale, Aneesa Folds, and Chris Sullivan of the Broadway show Freestyle Love Supreme. Tom Papa, Aoife O'Donovan, and Pixies. Live from here is supported by One Drop, providing a new way to manage diabetes that can help lower your blood sugars in just 1 month at Walmart, Apple stores, and getonedrop.com. And by Noom, offering a personalized weight loss program that uses psychology and small goals to help lose weight and keep it off for good. Learn more at noom.com. Live from here is produced by American Public Media. And again I say ahoy! Ahoy! Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so nice weather we've been having here in New York. Very weathery, December-y. December-esque, Decemberists, and under the boughs on boughs, all clothed in a snowy shroud. She had no heart so hard and all under the boughs on boughs, and I will hang my head low, and I will hang my head. Wait. What were we talking about? Oh, right. The weather. We were talking about the weather, and we talk about the weather when we can't think of anything else to talk about. But what if we can't think of anything else to talk about because weather is so interesting? And of course now it's scary interesting much of the time, but even when it's being its good old pre-fossil fuel self, it's pretty riveting. It's pretty riveting. Ask any songwriter, poet, or person born in San Diego, like I don't know me. Maybe I'm talking about the weather right now because I was born in San Diego, where there is no weather. There is no weather. There's weather. It's quote-unquote good weather, that's all, which might account for my obsession with the seasons in New York. San Diego has one season, and it's called May, which admittedly sounds pretty good right now, right? And I love May. But I want months like August and February to remind me how awesome May is. Which also reminds me of one of the best/worst pranks to which I have ever been subjected. It happened shortly after I moved to New York 14 years ago. Things were looking up. I'd found an apartment in the East Village, formed a band called Punch Brothers, started dating a classical violinist. Ooh, fancy. Got a new flip phone. Très fancy. A little too fancy, turns out, for those were the days of customizable ringback tones. Do you remember those? So not what you hear when someone calls you, but what they hear before you pick up or it goes to voicemail. The default should be, but for some godforsaken reason, my fancy new flip phone came with a customizable ringback tone, and that default ringback tone was... Now, I love spring from Vivaldi's Four Seasons as much as the next guy. But you'll recall, I just started dating a classical violinist. And if there's one piece of music a classical violinist doesn't need to hear more than she already does, it's... It's the same as if I called her and what I heard was... So, when I got to band practice that day, I asked the most technologically savvy Punch brother, who goes by the unlikely name of Pickles, for help. He messed with the phone for 30 seconds and handed it back saying he'd restored it to its factory settings. Never, ever trust a banjo player. The adored violinist called me later that day, and when I picked up, she was laughing. "What's up?" I asked, and she replied,
Well, I guess it's better than the Vivaldi.
I'm gonna call you right back. Pickles! Hey, wait, Critter, hey, can you call me?
Why, you are standing right next to me.
I think Pickles just ruined my life.
Again?
Just call me. And what, dear listener, do you suppose Critter and I heard coming through the speaker on his flip phone as we waited for me to pick up?
It's raining man. Hallelujah, it's raining man. Amen. I'm gonna go out to run this and get absolutely soaking wet.
Hey, babe. You see, it all comes back to the weather. Which leads us to this week's brand new song about two high-profile strangers suffering from insomnia who meet on their respective ends of a telegraph wire late at night during the Civil War. Each is desperate to forge a connection, but neither is quite sure how. Maybe they could talk about the weather. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. A nibble,
A bite, a reason to be thankful.
for another sleepless night. But how best to set the hook?
How best to reel him in.
What to send?
What to send? Not my name, you'll know it.
Rendering this another unclean slate.
Another couple hours answering for these divided states.
Amp being the amplifier of this rift between Americans won't help me make a friend.
What to send?
What to send? What are the chances of this meeting? I won't let it get away. Who else will dance me through the dead of night unto the break of day?
If I believed in God, I'd ask him.
Father, tell me what to say to make a friend out of this stranger on the wire. How's the weather? as stuck in Western Union. And
Here's is the brow of a grim pattern judge. Is that your field of law?
Nice try, the way you are.
It's hard as the barrel of a freshly fired candle, and the air's as thick as the skull of Mikadal that born, and the smoke rising up to the sky over songs that were loved as much as mine was.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm grateful for your ear out, but I haven't scared you off.
A fellow stranger or contraire, any night you feel like hopping on this wire, I'll be here, waiting to ask you how's the weather where you are. How's the weather where you are? It's cold as the sweat I woke up in an hour ago.
It's cold as each toe in each boat marching south through the snow.
For the air from their hearts and our peace on a stay but a bit each brave toe retreat.
What are the war for freedom laws?
I don't believe it's ours, I hope that doesn't scare you off.
Fellow stranger or contraire, any night you feel like hopping on this wire, I'll be here waiting to ask you about the weather
where you are. Cause you can learn a lot about someone from asking how they feel about the weather where you are. Thank you so much. How is the weather where you are? Oh, it gives my improv-loving heart so much fun to make. Welcome Anthony Veneziale, Aneesa Fields, and Chris Sullivan from the fully improvised Broadway phenomenon Freestyle Love Supreme.
Thank you so very much. What an honor to be here this evening. We are Freestyle Love Supreme, and we do a completely improvised freestyle rap show every night on Broadway. And yeah, so naturally we were brought here to talk about the weather. You might be thinking, what's the connection here? And if there is a correlation, is it spurious at best? Thank you for asking, no one. What we would like to answer is that there is sometimes movements inside of your brain. There are these clouds sometimes that will affect us in our creativity. And that actually can be traced to a very specific part of your brain called the dorsal lateral prefrontal cortex. It's almost like that dark cloud that follows you around and says, "Why did you wear that shirt? So many flowers." Or, "I bet you there's spinach in your teeth. They had rollatini downstairs. Why would you eat that?" So that cloud sometimes can really get in our way. And what we do is we try to activate a different part of our brain where there might be a couple more sundogs that beam through those clouds. It's called the medial lateral prefrontal cortex. It gets really activated when you do this stuff, when you make up things on the spot. And that's exactly what we are about to do. And we need your help to do it, because one of the most important parts of that is a beat. That's Shockwave, our beatboxer. And so what we are going to ask you to do right now is go on a bit of a beatboxing journey with Shockwave. He's going to do something we think will hopefully send you out with a new skill that you can take home tonight.
Boots, cuts, boots, cuts, boots, cuts. It's that easy, right? So everybody here, repeat after me the word boots. Now say the word cuts. Now take the word boots, and instead of saying the word, say more of the sounds of it. Have that plosive b to the boo, and then that deep ooh for the boots. And that TS sound at the end is actually the second sound you'll be making, which is that hi-hat sound. So everybody say boots again. Boots. Now let's say it more with that percussive B, that deep ooh, and that percussive tss at the end. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Boots. Now the word cuts is the same kind of idea. That hard C sound is the really percussive part where it's hitting the snare drum. So you want to hit that C sound that's really hard. Everybody do that right now. Yeah, and get that deep, that grunt sound for the, that's the size of the drum right there. And that TS, we've already done it, so we've already mastered it. So now, on the count of 3, everybody say the word cuts. 1, 2, 3. Cuts. Awesome. Now let's say both those words one after another. I'll start. Boots, cuts, boots, cuts. Keep going. Boots, cuts. Now turn them into sounds. Cuts, boots, cuts, boots, cuts, boots, cuts, boots, boots. All right, you're all master beatboxers now.
Yes! Well done. You feel the clouds lifting inside of your brain. Wonderful. And now we're going to take it the next step. We're going to add in an MC. So in order to do that, we need to be inspired by you. So we're going to get some words that are weather related. So how about you shout out words when you hear the word weather? What does it make you think? Go ahead, just shout them out. We're going to start writing some down. Rainbows, precipitation, radar. Okay, great. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to call for certain areas because I'm hearing a lot and I love it all, but just give me 1 second. Hey, what do you say, boxes? Those are some fancy seats. Give us some fancy words. What you got? What is it? Frostbite. Ooh, nice one. Okay, rainbow, radar, frost. What else? Sleet. Beaches. Oh, what was that? Beach day. Ooh, nice. Yeah, beach day. And then how about over in the front over here? Young person, do you have something for us? Weather. Cumulonimbus. Nice. Oh, hecka, yeah. Well, I think we have a good smattering of words, yeah? All right. I'm going to throw a couple of these words to young niece, who's on mic 2. She will have to instantaneously incorporate these words over the beats provided by Shockwave. Young niece, your first word is rainbow.
All right. Yeah. I got the rainbow. Yeah, you know your girl has the pride. I like the rain, so I'm gonna stay inside. Cause I don't want the rain, cause sometimes it's a pain. And yeah, I like the clouds, I chill all day.
Frostbite.
I got that frostbite, where are my fingers? I'm chilling on the beat, but the music's gonna linger. I'm making this all up, it's coming off the dome. Please don't leave me home alone.
Beach day.
It's
Last
a beach
word.
day, hey. I'm skipping school cause you know I'm gonna play in the sand. Yeah, I eat it up, I put it in my cup, I'm gonna make a castle. Oh yeah. All right.
Give it up for young niece.
All right. Your word is sleet.
All right, check it. I might still be asleep, but that's okay, cause the hell is sleet. Or maybe precipitation that falls on me as I creep from this cheat. Alright, anyway, just wanna stay inside. Unless of course it's sunny, then I will just glide up to the Wildwood Boardwalk Peach. Yeah, that's right, this day is for the beach. I will just reach, just be inside these. Oh yeah, I got so much sweat on my brow, but that's okay, the precipitation of the precipitation is coming down. Yeah, thank you for the sound as I bound with the pound around. Yeah, it's gonna come and yet I ain't forgot the sound. You just wanna found out you done with us, that's alright. We overhead like cumulonimbus. Okay, yes, cumulonimbus, that's alright. In the stratosphere, we just serious, yeah, like the other clouds up in the stratosphere. Alright, now you all here. We just doing it, whether you like it or whether or not. We gonna ignite it, whether you like it or whether you like it,
or whether you're not.
Gonna ignite it.
It's the
We
weather,
just like it.
it's weather time.
Weather.
It's raining men in the sunshine.
Raining,
It's
raining
men,
time.
yeah. Whether you like it or not, that's what you got. That's what you got,
What you got?
Yeah, that's what you got. That's what you got.
Thank you very much.
God. Amazing. Amazing. Anthony Veneziale, Aneesa Folds, and Chris Sullivan from the Broadway show Freestyle Love Supreme. They're going to head right over to their own performance a few blocks away. You can catch them there until January 12th. Have a great show, you guys. Oh, citizens of the airwaves, have I ever been looking forward to this? Pixies.
Thank you. This is called Catfish Kate. Call me devil, call me friend, but call me blackjack hooligan. I came all the way from Aberdeen to live among the go-betweens. Let me tell you about Catfish Kate, in the time before when she's just Kate. Here in the mountains all alone, before the time we call this home. Where is my angel falling? Down at the river bottom, and then she get away. Where is my blindfold blossom? Is she just playing possum who lives another day? Here in the valley that we all know, a river bend that's deep and slow, where every creature drinks their fill and other creatures take their kill. Now Katie went to catch a fish to put inside her favorite dish. A catfish grabbed her by the head, yeah, took her to his house instead. Where is my angel falling? Down at the river bottom, and will she get away? Where is my blindfold blossom? Is she just playing possum who lives another day? They wrestled all the day and night. The morning showed the bloody sight. Kate all dressed in catfish clothes, his whiskers for her catfish robe, whiskers for her robe. Where's my angel falling? Down at the river bottom, and is she there to stay? Where is my blindfold blossom? Is she just playing possum who lives another day? And now she's known as Catfish Kate. Thank you. This is called This Is My Fate. that trainer told that Skinner man, this is my place. This is my fate. Cross of the one arm, one that's fortified. Now to hasten crucifixion. Hold that trainer told that Skinner man, this is my place. Take a little more drink. It's alright. Take a little more drink. It's alright. Take a little more drink. It's alright. Take a little more drink. This is my place. Hold that train, told that Skinner man. Mine works, valley of death. Hold that train, told that Skinner man, this is my place. Take a little more drink. It's alright. Take a little more drink. It's alright. Take a little more drink. It's alright. Take a little more drink. This is my place. This is my fate. This is my place. This is my fate. This is my place. This is my fate. This is my fate. My fate. My fate. Thank you.
If there were any more vibe in this room, the back of Town Hall would explode. Pixies, more from them later in the show. Which brings us to our local break, and I'd like to take this opportunity to beam a sun-drenched ahoy! Ahoy! To our friends and my family listening on KPBS in San Diego, where it is currently 63 degrees, and get this, raining. Fellow San Diegans, rejoice! But remember, you only get 12 inches of rain a year at most, so enjoy responsibly. When I was little and my parents wanted to experience a little winter weather, we would often drive about 45 minutes away to Julian, California, famous for apples and little dustings of snow, very festive. I was thinking about those trips when I wrote this next song, which is actually the very first song I ever wrote specifically for this show, quite a long time now ago. It's about a kid from Julian yearning to go to the Panama, California exposition at beautiful Balboa Park in downtown San Diego, circa 1915. If I had one wish, tickets are 50 cents. It's from a city park called Balboa. to 50 cents. There's gardens and elephants and buildings like they have in Spain. I wish I was on my way to Balboa, sweet Balboa. I wanna meet the world, boys and futures begun, in the harbor of the sun, not the oceans of June. I wanna meet the world. You're listening to Live from Here. Balboa, folks are coming from all over the Americas, so we can come from Julian. It's only 40 miles between us and the world. Boys, the future's begun, in the harbor of the sun, not the oceans of June. With all the other hard luck reminders of, stop picking apples now that the gold's all gone. So what you say we put the baskets down, boys? Let's hitch a ride to town, boys. Let's see the fountains pour, let's hear the lions roar, let's meet the world. Let's meet the world. Thank you so much. How about this band, huh? Time now we welcome our traveling correspondent, comedian Tom Papa, in a segment we call Out in America.
Thank you, Chris. On behalf of Live from Here, I continue my journey across the country, shining a light on all the good people in America. This week, while I was making my way back home after Thanksgiving, I ran smack into several snowstorms. After many days spent with a large family in very tight quarters, I decided to follow the path of least resistance, bailed on my plans and my family, and headed off to sunny San Diego. If you're looking for a place with consistent weather that you can trust and the North Pole isn't your style, head to San Diego. There's a great mix of people in this city, which gives it enough spark and creativity to keep things exciting. And while I enjoy the Gaslamp District and downtown, my time was short, so I bought some flip-flops from CVS, put on some shades, and took my pasty white body to an oceanfront bar in Coronado. The bartender was a dude named Daniel. He retired from the military after a career at Camp Pendleton and never left. If San Diego had a mascot, it would be Daniel. He smelled like the ocean, had tan skin like an old baseball glove, and sun-bleached hair that looked like dreadlocks made of seaweed. He mixed our drinks efficiently, but definitely on his own schedule. I ordered a pina colada, but instead he gave me his signature rum drink, served in a mug in the shape of a fish. I didn't resist. He said, in other parts of the country, people have goals like money and careers, but I don't get it. I'm not going to spend all my days saving up money so I can give it to a nursing home. My retirement plan is to surf until I eventually fall off my board and sink to the bottom of the sea like SpongeBob Drunk Pants. Have you ever found yourself drinking a mystery drink out of a blowfish and started to think that maybe you've been living your life all wrong? I have. What is it about going on vacation that makes us want to turn our lives upside down? A couple Mai Tais in a lounge chair and you start wondering what it would cost to live there. I guess vacation represents a possible escape to a better life. You no longer have responsibilities. Suddenly, you're wearing a bathing suit as pants. And all you have to worry about is getting another drink, putting on some sunblock, and waddling into the pool. You check into the hotel as an adult and instantly turn into a toddler with money. Daniel said the key to living in San Diego is to keep your expenses low and your stress level even lower. Stress is the great American killer, he said. No matter where you live, I suggest you start by turning off the news. If something is really important, you'll hear about it. The rest is just propaganda wrapped in advertising. The most patriotic thing you can do right now is to turn off your TV and get off Twitter. In his honor, I ordered another drink and a basket of chicken fingers off the kid menu. Suddenly, a woman with bright red lips, matching glasses, and a winter coat climbed on the stool next to me. She ordered a hot black coffee, plopped her giant purse on the bar, and started rummaging through it like a frantic raccoon. I need a cigarette, she said. I don't know how people live here. All this sun and good times. This is what vacation is for. You're not supposed to live on vacation. You go to vacation, and then you come back home where you're miserable and get back to work. She was obviously from New York. Her name was Gladys, and she was from Queens, where she has lived her entire life. She was here for a sales conference and was over it. If you ask me, she said, everybody out here seems like they're high. Daniel laughed. That's because we are. She said she doesn't belong in a place like this. She belongs in the city. I'm like a pigeon, she said. No one wants to see a pigeon on a sailboat. Daniel asked, what's a pigeon? She said, it's like a rat with wings. Daniel laughed and said, now who sounds high? Have you ever been so drunk that you tried to take a drink out of a blowfish mug and realized you were actually kissing a woman from Queens? I have. Gladys went outside for a smoke, and when she came back, she started to relax and enjoy herself. My Arnie would have loved it here, she said with a sigh. We used to go to the Rockaways every weekend and stand on the piers and watch the fishing boats come in. She said her husband eventually wanted to retire and live by the beach, and she would protest and tell him that she wasn't into it, but she didn't really mean it. She said the truth is, after 40 years of marriage, I would have done anything for him. What I really loved was getting an ice cream and sitting at the picnic table together like we were teenagers. We were just two kids from Queens going through life together. That's what love is. Someone who really knows you and sticks around anyways. But now that he's gone, I feel like the world only knows me as the old lady who drinks black coffee in a bar. Daniel took her coffee away and gave her a blowfish. Nat King Cole's Christmas song came over the jukebox, and everyone grew quiet as we looked out at the ocean, and despite the waves and the palm trees, a holiday spirit came over us. The sun was setting, and on Daniel's orders, everyone got a shot of tequila and held it up to the sun as it went down. The air felt soft across our faces, and the sky responded with a purple and red autograph as if it was saying goodnight, a farewell, or as Daniel said, a later, dude. For a moment, everything was so quiet, as if we were floating. Gladys turned, looked at both of us, and said, "Enough of this hippie crap. I got to get back to New York." Daniel begged her to stay. "No way," she said. "No one eats bread out here. My grandmother always said, don't trust anyone who says no to bread." Have you ever watched a woman from Queens walk away on the sand and wonder if she really was a pigeon? I have. Happy holidays to everyone, and until next time, this has been Tom Papa out in America.
Nice one, Tom. Mr. Tom Papa, more from him later in the program. By the way, also later in the program, we'll have another exciting edition of Compose-A-Text, the segment wherein the band and I improvise a song based on text messages that you've recently received. I'm really nervous about Compose-A-Text tonight for some reason. Can't think why. Oh, right, we had some of the greatest improvisers in the world on the show. That would be it. Bonus points, by the way, for any ridiculous weather references that you've received in the last week, but anything ridiculous will do. Send us your texts on Twitter at Live From Here, 8 p.m., or in the YouTube chat. But now, put your hands together, unless you're driving, for Black Pumas.
I woke up to the morning sky first. Baby blue, just like we rehearsed. When I get up off this ground, I shake the leaves back down to the brown, 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 till I'm clean. Then I walk where I'll be shaded by the trees, by a meadow of green, for about a mile. I'm headed to town, town, town in style, with all my favorite colors, yes sir, all my favorite colors, right on. My sisters and my brothers, see 'em like no other. Oh, my favorite colors, oh. So good day to me, a good day for me, a good day to see my favorite colors, colors. And my sisters and my brothers, see 'em like no other. Oh, my favorite colors. Now take me to the other side, where the baby blues birds fly, and gray clouds, white walls, blue skies. We gon' fly, feel alright. Black Pumas feel alright today. Now we gon' yeah. They sound like yeah. The least I can say, I anticipate a homecoming parade is beeping the gate in the morning, sweet morning, right on. With all my favorite colors, yes sir, all my favorite colors, right on. My sisters and my brothers, see 'em like no other. Oh, my favorite colors, oh, hold on, right. It's a good day to be, a good day for me, a good day to see my favorite colors, colors. My sisters and my brothers, see 'em like no other. Oh, my favorite colors, oh my, help me sing it. Closer, baby. where the baby blues birds fly. And gray clouds, white walls, blue skies, we gon' fly, feel alright. Help the people feel alright. One more time. Now we gon' move, yeah. They sound like yeah. The least I can say, I anticipate a homecoming parade as we been a gate in the morning, babe. One more time. Sisters and my brother, she like no other. Oh, my favorite color, right on. It's a good day to be, a good day for me, a good day to see my favorite colors, colors of my sisters and my brothers, see them like no other.
Black Pumas, y'all. Wait, no, don't leave just yet. More music from them in the second half, but it's not every day that I get to shoot the breeze with a band that is in mid-meteoric rise. I mean, it's easy to see why this is happening, but I mean, let's see, debut album and first Grammy nomination this year. How you feeling? You doing?
It's amazing.
You doing
Thank
okay?
You.
You
Yes.
hanging in there?
We have no idea what's going on. But we appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming.
But walk me, so as someone who has never experienced a meteoric rise, could you walk me through the feel? I mean, is it true that you were busking like 2-3 years ago? That's a true thing?
It is. I studied a lot of theater and musical theater in high school and college.
Which often leads to busking.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's not as promising, so I learned to kind of reciprocate what I was feeling through the sound and the storytelling that I had at hand while playing guitar. Met Adrian Casada 2017, August, and we started recording together. Shared some songs, we've had a good time, and still having a good time. Everything else that's happening is kind of unprecedented. We can feel it. Thank you, guys.
Woo! Amazing. Amazing. And walk me through the genesis of that song, because that is quite a song. How did that come about?
I wrote that song on an uncle's rooftop in New Mexico during the sunset. I was teaching myself to play guitar through the songwriting process. That was bringing about all my favorite colors and the spirit of togetherness and sense of foreverness as well, you know, just searching for the true meaning of love from how I was feeling it. So I have no idea what that song means, but it feels really good.
Amen. Black Pumas, everyone. More from them, as I mentioned, in the second half. And now, how lucky are we? It's time for some Crooked Still.
There's a hill on a grave in that land far away in the country. country beyond the blue sea. Way beneath that fish sky went the man for to die, for the world and for you and for me. And it's bowed down my heart and the teardrops will start when a memory of the great hill I see. For 'twas there on the side Jesus suffered and died to redeem a poor sinner like me. Behold, faint on the road, neath the world's heavy load, comes a thorn crowned man on the way. With the cross he's bowed and still on through the crowd, he's ascended to that hill on the gray. Hark, I hear the dull blow of the hammer swung low. They are nailing my Lord to the tree. And the cross he praised, while the multitude gazed on the best lamb of dark Calvary. And it's bowed down my heart and the teardrops will start when a memory of the great hill I see. For 'twas there on the side Jesus suffered and died to redeem a poor sinner like me. How they mocked him and did till his last dying breath, when his friends said they wept o'er the way. But this lowly and faint, still the word of complaint fell from him on that hillock of gray. Then the darkness came down and the rocks went around, and a cry pierced the sad leading air. 'Twas the voice of our King who received death's dark sting to save us from endless despair. And it's bowed down my heart and the teardrops will start when a memory of the great hill I see. For 'twas there on the side Jesus suffered and died to redeem a poor sinner like me. The sun hide his face, let the youth hear the speech over men who their Savior has slain. But behold, from the side comes the blessed Lamb of God, who has died but is risen again. And it's bowed down my heart and the teardrops will stop when a memory of the great hill I see. For 'twas there on the side Jesus suffered and died to redeem a poor sinner like me.
Thanks so much.
Crooked Still. One thing I've always loved about Crooked Still, so we go back a long ways. I mean, started playing in various jam sessions and things like that. I don't know, I mean,
14, 15 years
yeah,
ago.
that's kind of where I was at with it. You guys play a mix of traditional and original material. What, when you're sitting around trying to figure out what songs you're going to bring back from relative obscurity, like for instance, that's a new one to me.
That's a song from the great Doc Boggs. Whose catalog is vast and should be checked out by everybody. That's a tune called Calvary, and there's something about the weird, haunting vibe of him playing it, and we decided to just make it a little bit weirder and sound like we were playing it wrong in the wrong beat, just to confuse ourselves and everybody else.
I love it. Classic Crooked Still.
Classic Crooked Still.
That No, it's a thing I'm very fond of about y'all. And this one, another tune that's somewhat, it's unsettling at times, this song.
This next one?
Yes.
It is unsettling. I mean, if you really pay close attention to the words, you might be triggered in some way. It involves the fiddle, folks. Just trigger warning there. It's a song also having to do with the weather, which is the unofficial theme of the show. And it requires audience participation. You already know what's coming. If you're listening along to the radio, doesn't matter how out of tune you are, you're going to sound good.
It's going to sound great.
It's this one we got from a Jody Stecker version. Based ours on that. It's called Wind and Rain.
There were two sisters came walking down the street. Oh, the wind and the rain. Older one pushed the younger one, and oh, the dreadful wind and rain. 'Cause Johnny gave the youngest one a big old ring. Oh, the wind and the rain. He didn't give the other one anything. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her into the river to drown. Oh, the wind and rain. And watched her as she floated down. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. She floated till she came to the miller's pond. Oh, the wind and rain, crying, Father, Father, this swims a song. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Then out of the woods came a fiddler fair. Oh, the wind and rain. He plucked 30 strands of her long yellow hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long yellow hair. Oh, the wind and rain. He made a fiddle bow of her long yellow hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her long finger bones. Oh, the wind and rain. He made fiddle pegs of her long finger bones. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a little fiddle of her old breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound can melt a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And the only tune that the fiddle would play was oh, the wind and rain. The only tune that the fiddle would play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
Crooked Still,
Thank you.
mighty fine, good people of Town Hall. More from Crooked Still in the second half.
Stay tuned for more from our special guests, Black Pumas, Crooked Still, Tom Papa, and Pixies. And please keep sending us your texts on Twitter at Live From Here 8 p.m. or in the YouTube chat. You're listening to Live From Here at Town Hall in New York City.
Live from Here is supported by Noom, whose yellow, green, and red approach to categorizing food is designed to help people make improved meal choices with the goal of losing weight and keeping it off for good. Learn more at Noom, Noom.com. And by Little Passports, a holiday gift for that curious kid on your list. With a subscription, kids get a package each month designed to inspire their curiosity in geography, world cultures, or science. Holiday gifts are at littlepassports.com/radio. And by Baird. More than investment professionals for 100 years, Baird has partnered with individuals, businesses, institutions, and communities working together toward their financial goals. More information is available at baird100.com. And by OneDrop, a new way to manage diabetes. With supplies delivered to your door and personal health coaching, OneDrop can help lower blood sugars in just 1 month. At Walmart, Apple stores, and getonedrop.com. And by T. Rowe Price, offering a strategic investing approach that examines investment opportunities firsthand. Institutions, advisors, employers, and individuals choose T. Rowe Price. T. Rowe Price, invest with confidence. If you'd like to see what's happening on stage tonight, check out our live video stream at livefromhere.org. And while you're there, you can check our season schedule, get tickets to upcoming shows, listen to past episodes, and watch your favorite video clips. It's the best place to stay up to date with all the fun we have planned with guests like Sarah Bareilles, Los Lobos, Maria Bamford, Dave Hill, and cast members from West Side Story. All that and more at livefromhere.org. Live from Here is produced by American Public Media.
You're listening to Live from Here at Town Hall in New York City.
Okay. Welcome back. That was Song for My Father by the great Horace Silver, but now it's time to compose a text. Y'all really crushed it tonight. There are two that I feel like we have to figure out how to get in. One from Hayabusa, one of those little things that's at the line at the bottom, and that's at Hayabusa, line at the bottom. I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow, which I think I'm seeing that as sort of the opposite of to hell in a handbasket, which is cool, like an uplifting kind of gospel-y rootsy thing, I think, right? And then Brian Peterson sends, he got this text. Brian, I would love to meet you, but I would particularly love to meet whoever sent you this text. I just hate the idea of chocolate and hummus, ... together, which seems good. And I think it's like punky, right? Is it like punky?
Are you saying it seems good, like chocolate and hummus together seems good, or?
No.
Okay.
No. I just mean I agree with that, but I feel also that it's good fodder for our purposes. No, it's terrible. It'd be terrible together. It's not a good idea at all. So I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow, which is like, what do you think? I'm thinking like kind of going up on a mountain vibes. I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow. I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow. I'm going to
heaven in a
wheelbarrow. And then it's usually just play the tag, because that's all they played in the text, right? So you can't finish. Yeah, then you just play the tag. Got it? Okay, and then I hate the idea of chocolate and hummus is like punky. Since you're on acoustic, I think we're almost like, can we get like some da 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 ba 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 ba, that kind of thing from you on the piano, maybe, you know?
That kind of thing.
You know, it's like go go go. Almost Johnny B. Good like, but with like, who's the guy that does the Great Balls of Fire? That guy.
Really?
Yes. I just hate the idea of a hummus and chocolate. Together. I just hate the idea of hummus and chocolate together.
Together.
Okay, and so that's your part. You're gonna do the together part, and then we're gonna mash these up, don't you think? For sure. So that was in G. Oh yeah, nice. G sharp, A flat. I love it. No, that's good. And this is in A. Oh, it's gonna be delightful. Key relationship spot on. Everybody's crushing it. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow. I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow. I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow. Here we go. I just hate the idea of chocolate and hummus.
Together.
I just hate the idea of the chocolate and hummus.
Together.
I just hate the idea. I hate the idea of a chocolate and a hummus.
Together.
I'm going to
heaven in a wheelbarrow.
I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow. I'm going to heaven in a wheelbarrow. Well done, everyone. It's going to be a hell of a week for musicians' birthdays, starting with Hector Berlioz. Hector Berlioz. When I sent this week's birthday list to Aoife O'Donovan, she suggested an amazing piece of Berlioz's. It's a rough possessive right there with Berlioz. Anyway, I'd never heard this one before. He's best known for his Symphonie Fantastique, which turned Paris and then the rest of the Western world on its ear in the 1830s. But Aoife, tell us about this gorgeous little villa now you found.
This is the first movement of a 7-song cycle that Berlioz wrote in 1841 called Nuit d'été. And it's the first movement, Villanelle. And it's a springtime song. And I'm going to sing it in English.
Solid.
I'm better at that one.
2. Oh, sorry, Brett. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
When shall come spring's delightful weather, when bleak winter has passed away? There, my love, we will go together, gathering lilies in woodland gay. Pearls of dew from our footsteps flinging, trembling bright in the morning rain. Then we will hear the blackbird singing, then we will hear the blackbird singing all day. Spring is come, oh my love, so brightly 'tis the month for all lovers blessed. A birdling poised on his wings so lightly, singing songs by his downy nest. Oh, come on, mossy bank reposing, we will talk of our love today. Thy gentle voice, thy love disclosing, thy gentle voice, thy love disclosing always. Far away through the woods we'll wander, fright the hare hiding as we pass. Where the deer seizes antlers yonder, near it fair in the spring's clear glass. Then alone in our silver pleasure, fingers twinning the while we its fruity treasures bring home.
How about the dynamic duo of Hector Berlioz and Aoife O'Donovan? Mad props to Frankie Rousseau for that transcription. You know who else has a birthday this week is Willie Mae Thornton, better known as Big Mama Thornton. Big Mama Thornton, she was nearly 6 feet tall, every inch imbued with a powerful take on the blues. I love what Big Mama told the New York Times back in 1980, towards the end of her life, about delivering pre-existing material. She said, "I like to put myself into whatever I'm doing so I can feel it." Here's her take on Every Time I Think of You.
Well, I think of you all day and cry all night long. Well, you didn't have to leave me, gee, baby, that sure was wrong. All my nights are long and sleepless, and my heart is full of pain. I'm just waiting here to hear you call me by my name again. If you come back home, pretty baby, I'll forget the wrongs you have done. If you come back home, pretty baby, I'll forget the wrongs you have done. I can't help loving you, baby, 'cause we had so much fun. Reason why, yes, pretty baby, I'm as lonesome as I could be. That's why I'm pleading, baby, please, please come back home to me.
One more time, Aoife O'Donovan of wishing Big Mama Thornton a happy birthday. Oh, and Aoife, congratulations on your recent Grammy nomination.
Oh, thank you so much.
How about, by the way, how about Brett Williams back there on the keys? Crushing those fills. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to say crushing on the show this evening. It's the last time. And we'll polish off this birthday segment with one of the great musical mad scientists of our time, talking about John Bryan. John Bryan. If you don't know his name, look him up. I guarantee you know his work. He's produced everyone from Fiona Apple to Kanye West, written all of the movie soundtracks. I could go on and on. I feel very fortunate to count John as a close friend and mentor of mine. John, if you're listening, my gas tank is running low. The only thing that can fill it is some vintage port, some Humboldt Fog goat cheese, and hearing you draw a through line from, like, I don't know, Debussy to the Beatles to Brad Mehldau. Happy birthday, you crazy unicorn. Here from John's only solo record, Meaningless, every sound of which was played or sung by him, is a song called I Believe She's Lying. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Although she's none the wiser, although we've barely met, I can recognize her from the treatment that I get. So it's my duty to advise her. If she breaks the rules I've set, I'll quit. Though I've admit that it hasn't happened yet. I believe she's lying. I trust she'll undermine my faith in her in time. I have every confidence that she'll dismantle mine, given time. As sure as she is sitting here, she's sure that she's awake. As soon as we're committing, we're admitting our mistake. So of course it's only fitting that the course we're gonna take is drawn, and whereupon I'm slamming on the brakes. I believe she's lying. I trust she'll undermine my faith in her in time. I have every confidence that she'll dismantle mine, given time. It's a given, given time. The element of chance, and the subject now in question is the same old song and dance. And that time that we invest in setting traps out in advance, so we can spend the weekend staring in a chair. I believe she's lying. I trust her to undermine my faith in her in time. I have every confidence that she'll dismantle mine, the given time. It's a given, given time. It's a given, given time. Brittany Haas on fiddle, Chris Eldridge on guitar, Marcus Gilmore on the drums on that last track, Brett Williams on keys, and the secret wizard himself, Mike Elizondo on bass. Happy birthday, all you extraordinary musicians out there, and welcome back, Tom Papa.
So as we inch towards the holidays, they asked if I would read something from my book, which is all about family. It's called Your Dad Stole My Rake, and Other Family Dilemmas. And it's about everyone in your family. It's a good time to think about your family. And the favorite people in any family, in my estimation, are grandparents. So I'm going to read you a little bit about grandparents and then give you some quick tips on what to buy grandma. Everybody loves the grandparents. If the grandparents in your family are your parents, they may not seem like that much fun to you, but to anyone who calls them grandma and grandpa, they are simply the best. These elder statesmen walk into the room as survivors of decades of familial battles. They are the ones who beat the odds, raised their children, and are now living the good, small life. They no longer deal with major child-raising issues or have to search for a bigger place with a more expensive mortgage and modern countertops. Theirs is a life made up of grandkids, free time, and errands. They'll walk to the post office to buy some stamps, send a card to their granddaughter, take a nap, and call it a day. When my grandparents came over, it was like being visited by wacky wizards. They couldn't really see or hear or operate a coffee maker, and yet they were able to hurl down the highway at high speeds and magically appear in our living room with impish smiles, holding secret satchels filled with things of wonder, just waiting to perform. My grandfather wore little brown shoes with white socks bunched up beneath his stretchy brown pants, hiked up so high that it looked like his waist started under his chin. He had everything in those pockets: coins, ball bearings, maps, and lighters. He could conjure up some fascinating stuff and make a quarter appear from inside your ear, but he really couldn't compete with Grandma. Grandmas are all about their bags. Old ladies are more prepared than Boy Scouts. If you're ever in trouble and need something to help free yourself from jail or pick a lock or dig a tunnel, just ask Grandma to look in her bag. My Nana would reach into her purse and magically conjure something up as if she was one of Harry Potter's teachers. Mine are all gone now, and I miss them terribly, and I miss their playfulness and their magic and their greatest trick of all, making me feel like I was the most important person in the world. If you still have a grandparent in your life, keep them in mind this holiday season and buy them a gift, which isn't very hard to do. They're not picky people. Here are some ideas, perfect gift ideas for Grandma. Anything with your name on it. Anything with your picture on it. Something, anything that you made. A piece of paper with a spray-painted noodle on it. Whatever you gave her last year, taken off the shelf when she's not looking. Secret candy she can hide from Grandpa. A Wu-Tang hoodie. Something with your hair glued on it. Or a bottle of whiskey. There are some pitfalls, so pay attention to this. This is bad gift ideas for Grandma. Yoga pants. UFC fantasy camp. Water skis. A robe that's difficult to keep closed. A trampoline. Fracking equipment. Nipple tassels. Jawbreakers. And Metallica tickets. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you, Tom. Now, how about some more Pixies?
Thank you. This is called Death Horizon. This drink is tranquilizing. Just look at us two, asleep at the beach in Waikiki. So I find it very surprising that he's coming to you, but I'm thankful that he helped me to see. You say he's not around. Oh, would you please? I've seen you looking down at me. you seen the death horizon? Just there out of view, way low in the sky beyond the sea. And I can feel that the temperature's rising. But what can you do? 'Cause that death horizon is gonna burn you right through. You'll say he's not around. Oh, would you please? I've seen you looking down at me. Have you seen the death horizon? Just there out of view, way low in the sky beyond the sea.
Thank you. We're going to play another song.
And as soon as I remember what that song is, we'll play it.
Bird of Prey.
Thank you. I'll sip my broken bone with a twist and a crack. Now your cover's blown. You buried me, but I came back. Stolen my tomorrow, so I come for it today. You stole it when you stole my yesterday.
Little birdie, little birdie, little birdie, little birdie.
Here in my heart, I hear you far away, deep in the dark. My little bird of prey, I have your mark. I'm flying through the rag, crack the whip from my caleche. I have the horse's speed, and if I need the horse's flesh, fire for the tallow, but I still can't find the way. You stole it when you stole my yesterday. Here in my heart, I hear you far away, deep in the dark. My little bird of prey, I have your mark. I hear you far away, deep in my heart, my little bird of prey, I have your mark.
Little bird, little bird, little birdie, little bird.
One more time for Pixies. Such an honor to have y'all on the show. Which brings us to our instrumental break. No show about the weather would be complete without a tune from Weather Report. I fell down a deep Weather Report YouTube hole this past Sunday and found an epic live performance of this 1978 classic, River People. You're listening live from here. How about Mike Elizondo playing the fire out of that extraordinary Jaco Pastorius bass line? And one more time, Brett Williams on the keys. Here's our creative director, Bodine Bowling, with a short story she wrote for tonight.
Right after he said it, I felt something big and dangerous start to move in. Still on the horizon for now, but getting closer. Almost here. And I knew it was my fault. The giveaway was the cold, a chill up my spine, sudden as an ice bath. The first time I felt that, I'd been 6, standing with my mother in a strange, beautiful place, full of toys big enough to climb. The sky glowed gray above us, as it had for longer than I'd been alive. Even though there were kids around me, also with their parents, no one played with anything, no one even spoke. We just formed our shaggy line aimed at the entrance of a building. On the outside of the building was a mural, bumpy from the brick facade. It showed a group of children playing together under a bright gray sky on exactly the same toys that were all around me. Now I really wanted to play. I had an idea what to do. But just then, a mother up ahead watched her son go in the building, and instead of going the other way, she walked back towards me. So I saw her face and her terrified expression. Leaving her son here scared her, and why? It startled me into looking at my own mother's face, and she looked terrified too, and just like that, so was I. Why should I have to go to school? No one had done this, gone to a building with strangers for education in over 200 years. I'd learned that later inside the building, but at 6,
I did feel the unfairness of my sacrifice. I'd never even spoken to a non-family member before. A moment later, I was cold, the worst cold of my life, which seemed to come up from inside me and push out through my skin. Loud cracks made me look up to see the gray sky fracture with light. Then clouds obscured it all, and out of them fell tiny wisps of frozen water, which clung to my hair and tasted like nothing. For the first time since we got to the playground that morning, all the adults started talking. The sky glowed gray and normal for a long time after that, and I learned U.S. history in the 23rd century, plus how to talk to people, even look them in the eye. And when the social initiative started, I volunteered to work with isolationists, people ensconced in tech, unwilling to leave their homes. We connect them to resources, anything's possible, any interest, any class, any hobby. It just took wanting it. I don't think isolationists are lazy, though. Sometimes you needed quiet. And when it's been quiet for a while, you can become afraid of noise. One of the isolationists, Peter, I offered to take to the lookout. Now, that's a reason to leave the house. Tallest building downtown, and the top floor is only a small room, all four walls made of glass. Peter hadn't liked the elevator, but the view out the windows undid him. I knew it would. The city from so high up, bewitched in all directions, color and people and light, energy rising up like steam. But then Peter pointed to the real purpose of the lookout, the telescope in the middle of the room with its 1,000-mile view. I spun it north and took a glance first, out past the protection of glowing gray sky where weather was still wild. I happened to land on a storm, or maybe there was always a storm that way. The thrashing wind terrified me, but what a thrill to see from a distance. More exciting than gray. When Peter bent down to the eyepiece, he stayed there a while, even moving the telescope around. I thought he must be aiming it at the city, absorbing what he'd long ignored, seeing how much life had gone on without him. But when Peter popped back up, catching me staring, he only smiled. I heard there might be deserts somewhere, he said. Can you show me? I want to see it all. And for the first time, Peter looked me right in the eye. That's when I felt it again, that ice bath chill coming up from inside me, unstoppable and terrible. And in a building this tall, I had quite a view, which was when I heard the crack of thunder. And just then, lightning split the sky. I expected Peter to be afraid, but he rushed the window, rapt, as clouds rolled in. Slushy rain slapped the glass, and he took a step back, but he never stopped looking. The slush became rain, softer and softer, until it stopped, until out in the sky, level with us, there formed an enormous, imperfect prism, stripes of color, blending and arcing. And facing that miracle, I reached for Peter's hand.
That's Bodine Bowling with a new story called Weather Control. for Chris Thile on the guitar. The Americana Instrumentalist of the Year, by the way, since we last heard from him. Brand new tune of his own devising called Fair to Partly Cloudy. Now, how about some more from my dear friends, Crooked Still?
Low and lonesome, low, sailing on the lonesome sea. Was a little ship, she sailed upon the sea, and the name that she bore was the Golden Vanity. Sailed upon the low and lonesome low, sailing on the lonesome sea. She had not been out many more weeks than 3 when she was overtaken by the Turkish revelry, sailing on the low and lonesome low, sailing on the lonesome sea. Then up spoke a little cabin boy, saying, what will you give me if I will then destroy, if I sink him in the low and lonesome low, if I sink him in the lonesome sea. The man who then destroys, the captain then replied, it's 5,000 pounds and my daughter for your bride, if you sink him in the low and lonesome low, if you sink him in the lonesome sea. So the boy smote his breast, and down jumped he. Swam until he came to the Turkish revelry, sailing on the low and lonesome low, sailing on the lonesome sea. He had a little tool made for the use. He bored 9 holes in her hull all at once, sank her in the low and lonesome low, sank her in the lonesome ocean. He swam back to the ship, he beat upon the side, crying, Captain, pick me up, I'm weary with the tide. I'm sinking in the low and lonesome low, I'm sinking in the lonesome sea. I will not pick you up, the captain then replied, I'll shoot you, I'll drown you, I'll sink you in the tide, sink you in the low and lonesome low, sink you in the lonesome sea. I'll sink you in the low and lonesome low, I'll sink you in the lonesome sea.
Thank you.
One more time for Crooked Still. You can catch him tomorrow night at Music Hall of Williamsburg. And now, once again, Black Pumas.
Under the raging sun, so open fire, fire, fire. Ain't nothing new, ain't nothing new. We all have desires. I want you to be my woman, babe. Every time you get dressed in black, you give a grown man a heart attack. I pray that good Lord will bring you back. You're my sunshine. Shoot me down and break my heart. It's the black moon rising. Oh, you brave the side, I paint the picture of the black moon rising cruise. Oh, all she wants to do is cruise. Right on, baby. And I ain't got nothing to do now with the black moon rising cruise. Oh, what's going on? Same old thing, just a different season. 100 years, and the only time she gets dressed in black. Taking flight, baby, count you down. On your way off without a sound. Black moon rising above the clouds. You're my sunshine, don't shoot me down. Shoot me down and break my heart. It's the black moon rising. Black moon rising, black moon rising. Oh, you brave the side, I paint the picture. She wants to do is cruise. Come on, right on, baby. And I ain't got nothing to do now with the black moon rising cruise. Oh. From the cockpit. Watch this. Oh, shoot me down and break my heart. It's the black moon rising. Black moon rising, black moon rising. Oh, you brave the side, I paint the picture. To do is cruise. Gotta help me right on, baby. And I ain't got nothing to do now with the black moon rising cruise. Oh. I've got a song on my heart, baby. She keeps me grooving, steady grooving. Got a lover on my mind that keeps me wanting, steady wanting more. There's a fire, call a fireman. If you're in pain, baby, then call a doctor. But don't be afraid to say I need you. I will understand, help me understand it. Oh, baby love, pretty woman, walking down the way, just walking down the way, y'all. If she gets tired, you just so power, and you'll find a way again. Yes, you will, yes, you will. If there's a fire, call the fireman. If you're in pain, baby, then call a doctor. But don't be afraid to say I need you. I will understand, help us understand it. Whoa, slow me down so I can realize how real love seems like. One more time. Right. Help them understand it. Yeah. Whoa, right. Give them out. Help us understand it. 'Cause how long for your loving? I can't get enough, no. When you tell me I can be there. When you love again, don't be love again. There's a fire, call the fireman. If you're in pain, baby, then call the doctor. Now don't be afraid to say I need you. I will understand, help me understand it. Whoa, so slow down. Realize smooth sailing when I understand it. Smooth sailing on the other side. There's a fire, call a fireman. If you're in pain, baby, then call a doctor. But don't be afraid to say I need you. I will understand, help me understand it. Whoa, last time.
Black Pumas. Unbelievable. The citizens of the airwaves, it has been a pleasure. We've got one more for you, and what a one it is. Thanks again for listening. Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud inside. It stopped raining. Everybody's in the play, and don't you know it's a beautiful new day. Hey, running down the avenue, see how the sun shines brightly in the city. On the streets where once was pity, Mr. Blue Sky's living here today. Hey, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. So where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. So where did we go wrong? Hey, you with the pretty face, welcome to the human race celebration. Mr. Blue Sky's up there waiting, and today is the day we've waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. So where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. That's our show from Town Hall in New York City.
Live from here is produced by American Public Media. Thank you to our special guests, Pixies, Crooked Still, Freestyle Love Supreme, Aoife O'Donovan, Tom Papa, and Black Pumas. Thanks to our house band and our musical director, Mike Elizondo. Thanks to the staff of Live from Here, Rochelle, Rocky, Ben, Lulu Dubin, Mark Braverman, Tom Campbell, Jonathan Cohen, Riggs and Collins, Jason Colton, Paul Dalen, Lynn Elliott, Hugh Freeland, Anthony Guthers, Dave Harris, Carly Henry, Jeffy Nillica, Sam Hudson, Janice Kaiser, Martha Cato, Jens McBoy, Dominic Meggie, Ben Miller, Emerald O'Brien, Amber Robinson, Frankie Rousseau, Bunky Runser, Joey Ryan, Thomas Schweitzger, Noah Smith, Austin Thompson, Sarah Weiss, Lily Wen, Adam Zepp, and I'm Bodine Bowling. Thanks to the staff at Town Hall. Check out video clips from tonight's show and learn about what's coming up at livefromhere.org.
Nice job, Bodine. The night is young, y'all. Let's go out and keep listening. Here we go. 1, 2, 3,
American Public Media.